weird in Austin as the Mystic Racing League looks to wrangle itself around a 2.6-mile road course. This evening, it's the fifth race of the 2025 season. It's the Time Changer 225. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to iRacing's virtual Circuit of the Americas for Ballin TV's coverage of the MRL. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside the booth for tonight is Scott Shive with DJ Line producing using cameras provided by Whiplash Simcams. Tonight, we go left and right for the first time this season, Scott, and that brings a lot more challenges, a lot of drafting and speed tracks so far this season. Tonight, it's our first major test of the brakes.
Yeah, really excited here about COTA, and we have got the new layout that we will see this weekend with the NASCAR Cup Series. It is this west layout, so they don't go down and up and then all the way down the big back straightaway off of turn 11. We go for the shorter course tonight, and I am excited to see these drivers out there. We talked about it in pre-race. It might catch a few of them off guard.
Yeah, especially with how quick that section is for the west area to go from what is essentially the middle of the S's all the way to near the arena section. But these drivers tonight have had some interesting challenges so far. Adam Holston leads the overall point standings over last week's race winner Eben Janik, Alex Pollock, Christian Barnes, and Joshua Thornton should say, amongst your top five. Then you have Andrew Allen in the mix in six, Brent Renner, John Uman, Colin Bollinger. Then you have Robbie Rafferty rounding out the top 10 in points coming into tonight. Some good strides shown by Holston in particular when it comes to consistency. Consistency is key to championships, and so far as one of the race winners, he's also in the playoff picture.
It's extremely important to keep that consistency throughout this field. All of your top 10 are here except for Brett Wren, so it looks like he will not be making the call here tonight at Circuit of Americas. And drivers right now out here, he has the flu, apparently I'm hearing, so he is out tonight of sickness. We wish him well to get back up here in the points. But you talked about it, Justin. It's about that consistency, and we see those guys rise to the top that are winning. But throughout this season, we will see that continue to change. And a lot of times, it's always guys getting good finishes, but you might have the bottom of the top five being some of those guys that are just getting in races and getting clean finishes.
Let's talk about some of the partners for tonight's action. Tonight is brought to you by several partners, including TH Designs for this series. Tonight also in part brought to you by Wade Cycles. Founded in 2021 to rebuild and modify motorcycles and bankers, we thrive on making customers happy and spreading our name so we can continue to grow. We used to be based out of Columbus, Indiana, but we're now located in New Market, Tennessee. They offer stereo systems, suspension work, body part modifications, and more. Contact them at 812-345-2876 or 812-341-0764 for your needs. Tonight also brought to you in part by Sofa News, dedicated to being your go-to source for engaging and thought-provoking stories for Mystic Racing League. Their mission is to provide insightful news that captures interest, encourages discussions, navigating the fine line between fact and fiction. We aspire to be a leading voice in Mystic Racing League's media landscape, focusing on bold reporting and valuable insights that foster conversation. At Sofa News, we are passionate about keeping you informed and entertained for each article you share, whether it's the latest updates, price revelations, and more. Tonight should be a fun one, to say the very least here. Scott, your thoughts as we get ready to tackle this West Circuit. What do you think about the new layout?
I'm excited to see it play out. I mean, we've seen this track. Normally we see 2 minute 15 laps around that, quite longer. We've cut that down by almost 35 to 40 seconds. Fastest lap right now in qualifying, put down by Bobby Rafferty. It's a 1:37.9. So we've shaved a good chunk of time off of the big circuit. But you and me, again, we talked about it in pre-race. I think especially on this first lap, That cut back into that new cutoff within halfway down the S's might catch a few drivers off guard. It's also going to be interesting to see drivers try to go through there, especially on the first lap, possibly too wide. We've seen obvious throughout practice and qualifying, drivers out there all alone, but that track will change in terms of cars around you when we go through this first lap.
Also see a very hot racetrack. Temperatures just below 90 degrees Fahrenheit right now in Sim on February 28th in Sim date 2025. We'll also have a mid-afternoon start. It's time to kick it to the national anthem. Please rise and stand for your national anthem. That was a listen in for our national anthem here today from Austin, Texas. Drivers are just finishing qualifying now after 10 minutes of group qualifying to set the field tonight, plus the runoff time. That runoff time just hit zeros for the session. 24 drivers tonight, Scott, are set to take this racetrack. Your final thoughts before we see this grid?
Yeah, we saw in qualifying it was a little difficult for some of those drivers to make clean laps. Again, in qualifying, iRacing will discontinue it if you get any sort of X, even a 0X. We saw in qualifying drivers there, but we're going to get on to this grid.
Let's take a look at it tonight. On the pole tonight, it's Bobby Rafferty setting a time of 1:37.938. Alongside him is a teammate, Isaac Wilson, on the front row. Evan Janik, last week's race winner, starts in third with Andrew Allen. In the fourth position, Allen was in fourth as well in final practice. Andrew Shobe starts in fifth tonight in the Toyota Brigade with Rayshawn Wakefield in sixth spot. Seventh spot will go the way of Isaac Brock. He was in the 140.4s. Anthony Trippi, another one of those ancient world gaming cars, in eighth position. Rounding your top 10 starting spots, John Ullman in the ninth spot, and Alex Pollock will start in 10th.
In 11th and 12th, it will be the 8 of Adam Holston and the 88 of Robert McKay. Then in the 13th, it will be the 29 of Joshua Thornton. Alongside him, the 70 of Stephen McComas. 15th and 16th will be that 78 of Caleb Hunt and Reggie Kime. 17th, 18th, the 53 of Colin Bollinger, the 27 of Christian Barnes. 19th and 20th, rounding out your top 20, the 47 of David Moyer and Joshua Gillen.
Then behind him, it's going to be Haas, Jared Knopfsnyder. Brandon Willard also going to be back there in the running order here tonight. Rounding out your field will be Joey Beam and Cohen Haas for your entries. 24 drivers of note. Joey Beam not in session, so 23 are set for the starting grid. And at least another driver has just missed it, we can tell you now. So once again, getting all set to go for tonight. Your race distance going to be 61 laps in total. Your stages, laps 15 and 35. There are 4 tire sets available in the pits, 1 faster pair, and the fuel limit is 64%. Your keys to victory, Scott, as we get ready to go racing here from Austin.
Yeah, I think be conservative on this first lap. We know the run up to turn one, very, very challenging. Cars spread out all across that huge set of asphalt. Very easy to get into someone, have a problem. And if you spin around, you're going to the back very soon. You don't want to have that happen again. Also through the S's, you want to stay calm, be a little conservative because you can bring that back on the back end if you can get through there clean. As well, be mindful of the people around you as well as fuel. We don't know how long this is going to go. They probably do sit in their cars, but you want to play a good strategy here tonight, and I think this is one of those races that will be key to strategy.
We'll see who's able to take the race win tonight. Happy with us for what should be an interesting night for the Mystic Racing League. The Time Changer 225. It is an all ancient World Gaming front row. Bobby Rafferty inside, outside, going the way of Isaac Wilson. Coming up to the start zone. Green flag in hand. Green flag waits as they pass the finish line. They set up for the start line. We're underway from Texas. And a clean start up front as Rafferty holds off the charge for the inside for the 71 of Janik. Some contact for second as Janik had to get out of the gas.
Janik going to be challenged here by Andrew Allen on the outside, now to the inside. Janik's going to let him go. So good job, Andrew Allen, getting up there into the podium position. You can see Andrew Shobe right behind Janik now as they turn into this new section for the first time.
You see how very quick it is and how quick it can catch drivers off guard. Off track is Allen, forced to get out of the gas as he goes in the grass. Wingfield taking a huge cut to the inside and throwing him off the racetrack. Allen forced off the circuit and another spin.
Goodness, we saw a lot. That was Isaac around. Oh, and look at that. Andrew Allen goes around as well as that 21. That was Isaac Brock. Oh my goodness, they're stacking up in the field in front of him.
You see lots of damage to the side of the 96 and to the front nose. Pollock and several other drivers slammed into Andrew Allen. Let's take a look at the instant replay as that got ugly. One spin to the backdrop and then he spun around again.
Yeah, that was Isaac Brock. Then here you'll see Andrew Allen gets over the curve, gets sideways, and then he's right in the middle of the track. Big impact there. Who was that? Was that? I think that might have been Cohen Haas.
That was Pollock.
Oh, goodness. That's going to be big damage for them, Justin.
Yeah, huge damage to the front nose for a race like this. They're going to need to stretch it to the pit window, to say the least. Now, there were some discussions about track rules for this racetrack tonight. There is penalties that drivers will have to start serving. Around 35 incident points was what race control said, where they'll have to come in for 30 seconds into the pit lane. As well, there are a lot of warnings about track corner cutting rules for tonight and using the runoffs, where a lot of runoff spaces were restricted because of how much of a time advantage you can get by running off the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely want to be careful of that. If you are a driver, stay clean so you do not have any question back when race control goes and reviews this race, because it'll be so hard to catch all of that. Here we've got a battle for the 6th position. It's Colin Bollinger on the 07 of Anthony Trippi. Bollinger will go to the outside here, trying to gain that speed here back through the back section of this racetrack, and Bollinger will prevail. Trippi trying to send the crossover here. He's going to have the speed, but he gets loose right there. I think that's going to secure Bollinger here into 6th.
That's crazy for the 53. You know why? He started 17th. He's gained double-digit spots in 2 laps. Bollinger is having a ball through this road course right now. Downside, he's already 10 seconds back of the leader. Aldrum pushing and shoving in the background there. Alex Pollock just got shoved off the track with Thornton.
Alex Pollock, their driver that we saw get into Andrew Allen on that opening lap in the back section, I believe it was about. As you see a car turned around back there behind Pollock, back out of the final turn, but we'll stay along here with Pollock. He's trying to get back up through this field. He's already back up to 10th, but again, he's got big damage on that nose.
And there is a heart monitor tonight also on Pollock. You can see the heart rate a little bit higher up tonight. It was at least 20 digits lower during the practice and parts of the qualifying session. Pollock has already been bounced around a little bit from the 10th position so far tonight.
Pollock, 10th, pretty darn good for having that incident. Want to see how that damage will affect him. Lap times right now, leaders are running about 138s through 140s. He's back there running around a 145, not far off from his closest competitors around him. He's trying to chase down Joshua Thornton up in front. They are running almost identical lap times at this point.
Take a look at some of the air battles around Trippy, trying to keep up with John Ullman. Trippy has started to slide back to where he started this race. And the tough thing about tonight going to be making sure you don't kill the tires. It's so easy to burn up the tires if you push too hard here.
That's one thing drivers will have to get comfortable with, is taking this easy. Really interested to see how that will play out, because there is such a big difference between a lot of these drivers' lap times. Goes all the way from Bobby Rafferty running in the 138s all the way to the back. Brandon Willard running 159s, and some of that from trouble going around. I'll go back in front of him to Reggie Kime with a 149. So about 10-second the gap between a lot of these lap times between the leaders and the back. But you said it, Justin, want to be careful on these tires. I imagine the first time that these drivers will come in will be at that stage break, because stages will make this race even more interesting tonight, because we will stack them up, get some fresh ones, and go for another interesting restart.
Yeah, it should make things interesting if we get to that point. There was discussion of no cautions unless there was a track blocker, unless there was a car flipped upside down, anything along those lines. Interesting enough, the race name tonight, for those wondering about why it was named this way, Christian Barnes was the race sponsor tonight. And it was Time Changer. That was the original PlayStation gamer tag he actually utilized. He's a little bit of creativity as the race sponsor tonight.
Always been a fan of keeping everything in daylight standard time, he said. A lot of things going on with that currently. I would say that I am one that loves when the time doesn't change. But tonight we stay in the daylight, at least for all this race. Big contact between McKay and Christian Barnes. 21 of Isaac Brock going to get into this battle as well. So a three-way battle back for 13th. That opened the door for Isaac Brock to get in front of McKay, and he is right on the coattails of Christian Barnes. Oh, contact between them as McKay tries to go for a move on the inside.
Brock trying to now cut to the left side of the racetrack, trying to take the spot away. Barnes lets him have it after all that push and shoving. Already starting lap 5 of stage 1, and already seen a lot of boxing gloves coming out when it comes to pushing and shoving. How about a lunge and a half from Christian Barnes? He backs out of it.
Yeah, a lot of break there, backed out of it. See the 21 of Isaac Brock get a great run there. It really took the outside. You get a great run out of the corner when you widen out that corner. You saw Christian Barnes just might have cut it a little bit too far to the inside. Really pinches that turn 1 really slow through that center. So Christian Barnes will finally lose that spot to Isaac Brock. He is currently in 14th. So he will try to hold off the attack of Robert McKay, and continually Isaac Brock continues to go forward, now working on the back of Stephen McComas.
Comas, amongst those who picked up some contact earlier on in the race in one of the stack-ups, got minimal damage, if no damage, from that to the front end. He got more so rear-end damage so far in this one. Right now, still a positive in terms of net gain, up 2 spots for the 70s so far tonight. Now he's getting bumped and ran by Brock.
Well, Brock, you know, he was one of those cars right before Andrew Allen had his spin right around this area in the back section of the track. Isaac Brock went for a spin, and so he qualified well, and we're seeing that speed here He's down now 5 positions from where he qualified. So he is showing us that he had that speed in qualifying, and it is transitioning to race pace as well.
Brock Ridgway starting 7th. He's a little bit aggressive on the gas that time. Good save from the 21. That's going to be a big thing throughout the night, making sure you don't accidentally over-rev those tires through the gear shifts.
You'll see right now, big move from the 70 of McComas. Couldn't quite get there. We look along here with the number 8, and he is going to go around. That is Adam Holston. He's going to do a quick 360 and get back on it in turn number 1. This is your current overall points leader, and he goes for a spin, Justin.
It's been a rough road course race so far. He started in 11th, had a spin at just about the very start of the race, and now it's fallen completely back. Now let's take a look at the 88 car once again at McKay. He's trying to battle it out with Barnes at the moment. You see on screen with the SVG look here tonight. And keep in mind, SVG probably the favorite in real life NASCAR to pick up the win this weekend.
Yeah, and one of the things here that we're going to have to think about, like the Cup race, how it will be. Again, we talked about those stages. Very important tonight because right now, Robert McKay, 43 seconds back from your leader of Bobby Rafferty. But when we stack them back up to go into the pit lane, when we get under caution, that is going to change a lot of things. Normally, we would see in a race like this where you have just the one start and no stages or anything, McKay would be out, maybe out for almost the top 10, unless he could really, really pick up the pace. But here tonight, they will have a bit of a break. This is the battle up for 5th right now. This is Rayshun Winkfield, and he is challenging up here with some of these lap cars. They're moving out of the way for him. Winkfield in 5th.
Also in the grass, the backdrop, as you see the 23, try and focus on Andrew Schob. Andrew doing a pretty solid job so far. The 5-star racing entry. It's been up and down when it comes to being in the grid and in the running order this season. So far in the points, he's 12th in standings as we see his direct drive.
One thing I liked about Andrew Schob, I talked about that laying back a little bit on that opening lap. Well, he started in 5th, and I saw him. He was laying back actually a little more than I would have thought. You saw Andrew Allen and Janik going to battle for the 3rd position, and Schob was really laying back off that battle. It has benefited him. He is up into 4th after Allen went for a bit of a moment, and he has run very consistent lap times up here within the top 5. Bobby Rafferty continues to put down heaters up at the front. He goes for a 1:37.8. He continues to bring his lead out from Janik.
Let's ride a lap around with Bobby Rafferty, why don't we, as he is flying around this racetrack. And amongst the best, when you can make your way to the S's, no problem, and drive this car efficiently, you can find speed on the old tires. Got through the left-right section. That's going to be tricky throughout the race, all before the arena section for Bobby Rafferty.
Rafferty down into the arena section, and it's very easy. This is where we saw Allen go around, got on the curbs, and you want to use the curbs here to your advantage, but that paint can make your car, the tires can lose a bit of grip when you're trying to cut those corners to get the most time out of it that you can. You'll see right there, section of turns 14, 15, and 16 looking very well for Bobby Rafferty. You can see why he is running up at the front and why he qualified on pole for this race, up over 100 miles per hour here down into the penultimate corner. And what a great setup for it. You can really carry a good bit of speed there. I only saw him drop to about 75 miles per hour. Then final turn a little bit more than 90 degrees, a little bit of uphill as well. Easy to get loose there, but Rafferty handles it with ease.
And a ride along for the lap as Rafferty leads by almost 4 seconds over Evan Janik at the moment. Just maintaining pace in that 7 car. He's been in contention for the win a couple times so far this season. This may be his best shot yet, usually known for speed and short tracks that we talked about coming into the series. looking mightily comfortable on a road course.
And normally you don't see the guys that are very competent at short tracks be this good on the road course. You see a lot of gravel kicked up there on the racetrack. That's one of those new iRacing updates that we have seen throughout this season. Andrew Allen trying to move back through this field after going for that spin. He gets past the 34 of John Ullman. Andrew Allen moves himself up into 7th. Ullman down to 8th.
2 drivers with damage so far in this one. And here's the thing about the rhythm of the S's. It's so easy to break it, I've noticed here. That's where a lot of drivers have to get that left, right so perfect to set up this part of the racetrack.
It's really all about momentum, Justin. It's so easy to push it a little bit too hard, but if you can get right on the exact speed that you really want, you can just switch back those corners, use the weight of the car to shift it, and it flows really well, almost effortlessly, but that effort comes way before you have to set it up coming out of turn number 2. If you're going in too hot, you are going to mess up that flow and that rhythm, and you will lose a lot of time. Rafferty goes for another fast lap up front. He's put another second on Janik.
Outright flying was still less than 7 laps to go in the stage. Coming around now, 6 to go for some of these drivers. Here comes the send. Wakefield locks up the tires and goes to the runoff area.
A little bit of lockup there for Schob as well, but he gets the better of it between him and Wingfield. Colin Bollinger was also able to profit from that exchange. Bollinger moves up into the top 5 for the first time this evening. So Bollinger now up 12 positions. You mentioned he had a great opening 2 laps there, and he is doing very well right on the coattails of Andrew Schob. He's down, he might look to the inside here, down into turn 12.
The progression continuing for the 53. Able to jump his way now into the 4th spot. How about that for him? And this race continues to get stronger and stronger for that Toyota. Right now, his laps, by the way, for Bollinger, 138.7s. Second off the leader right now, but it is faster than some of his competitors in front.
Bollinger looking very well right now. We're going to have to see. We see that he has the race pace here. Going to see how it fares when we get this caution for the first stage. And then maybe if he'll be able to bring the fight to Isaac Wilson, Evan Janik, and Bobby Rafferty. That 53 looks fast. And, you know, I was mentioning it. I saw it right when we got into the sim. What a unique paint scheme. I know that he's run a few different ones this season, but I have not seen this one yet. And what a unique paint scheme for that 53.
Very colorful. It pops. So far, the Batman look, it's been working perfectly when it comes to his pace as well. 5 laps to go in the stage. And right now, things seem to be settling on down here on this road course as these drivers continue to get more acclimated with the circuit. Bollinger heading a little bit of the turtle.
Schob was following through. I was watching along with Schob. He was following Bollinger there through, and he made an even bigger mistake through turn number 5. And so Andrew Schob had a big moment there right behind. Wingfield is now up close to him, trying to battle for that position. But I think this 53, I love a paint scheme that is easy to see. Look back here with the 8 of Adam Holston. We ride along with him. He's trying to challenge Robert McKay here. McKay had a big mistake on that last lap. Looks like his last lap was a little slower. But 8 of Adam Holston trying to battle with that 88.
Now Holston just trying to get the car back underneath him. He's had a couple spins already. One driver just stopped on the racetrack there. That was Joshua Gillen, who had some issues there. He is already a lap down.
Now Gillen having problems early in this race. He started in 20th, so he started up near the back, but has not had the race that he would want so far. Sadly for him, he is the last car 1 lap down. There's 5 in front, so he will probably not get that lap back, at least at this point. So the 9 of Reggie Kime is that second car 1 lap down. He's trying to chase down Stephen McComas right in front of him. They are just under a second apart, and this is the battle for the Lucky Dog.
These drivers already falling a lap behind within the past lap, actually. Reggie Kime, good speed as the 70 locks it up. Kime trying to take advantage as McComas goes defensive.
McComas there, you saw that defensive line through turn 12. What a great job from McComas to hold off Reggie Kime. It looks like Kime is a little bit faster, and there you go. Big lockup from McComas. Reggie Kime is going to move himself on through into the 16th spot, but most importantly, now in the position for the Lucky Dog. The 93 not done. He is up there. That was Isaac Wilson. And he moves the 9 out of the way, trying to get through quickly.
That's 71. Now trying to find his way around, getting boxed in here. Coming to start lap 13. And lap traffic, giveth lap traffic taken away as Kime tries to move around.
Kime, all he cares about right now is staying in front of Stephen McComas. He's got 3 more laps that he has to run here, and being the first car a lap down, I think Adam Holston will be the next car to go a lap down, but he is right now 1 minute and 20 seconds back from the lead, so he's still got about 20 or so more seconds before Rafferty would catch him. So Reggie Kime looking to be in prime position right now to get this lap back.
Yeah, in a great spot right now, as long as Holston doesn't have any major issues. Race control already confirming the lap total going on for the race leader with how things have gone in this stage. Coming up to 2 laps to go in the set stage. By the way, I jinxed it. Holston had a slide. He's now within range to be lapped.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, he lost about 11 seconds there, so it's now a 1:31 for him. So Bobby Rafferty will be coming hot on the rear bumper of Adam Holston. So I can bet you that Reggie Kime probably doesn't know that's going on, but if he did, he'd be very much wishing that Adam Holston will find a way to stay on this lead lap. You can see him in picture there as we come through the final turn. We go to 2 more laps till the end of the stage. There is Adam Holston. And I've got bad news for Reggie Kime. I think he's going to catch him.
Yeah, I think that's a great shot, actually, for him to catch him right now. It's at the 2 to go mark. It's already within 10 car lengths. You can see Rafferty a lot more comfortable under braking to be able to maximize the speed compared to what Holston's doing with the tiptoeing. Pit road is closed. Race control has officially closed pit road.
If you wanted to switch the stage, come and pit early, you had to have done it before. And I think it looks like to me, yeah, the only person to come into the pit lane, big off for the 8 of Holston out of turn number 10. He's definitely going to go a lap down with that one.
That definitely cost him the lap. And now he's in range for the Lucky Dog if he's able to keep it on track still. Reggie Kime need a lot of luck in terms of spin to be able to get back into the Lucky Dog spot. Not likely.
Yeah, Reggie Kime about 8 seconds back from Adam Holston, even with Holston going head on into the wall. So that definitely did not help. If he was going to be able to hold him off, he wasn't going to be able to now. Rafferty continuing to surge out ahead. And I was talking about that right when we had our moment with Holston. Cope Snyder, the only driver to come into the pit lane, and that was a while back earlier on in this race, so no one has come in before the stage to try to switch it. It looks like we'll come back to the line, 1 to go until we get this caution for stage number 1.
1 to go on the stage, and Bobby Rafferty has put on a show. Janik with the lap traffic lost a spot. But Rafferty in line for potential points. Remember, usually top 5 scoring points in this series. Andrew Schob and Rayshawn Winkfield are those drivers at the moment in the top 5 looking to battle it out. And there's more lap traffic in range to be lapped here. McKay might actually lose a lap here.
And McKay about a minute 32 seconds back. Look at him. You can see Rafferty right there in the backfield. And we look along with this 88 as we go through this section into the arena section. The 88 of McKay trying to stay out in front of Rafferty. See the 47 here of David Moyer. He goes now 3 laps down. We continue to watch along with this 88. Big wide moment through the penultimate corner, but he's going to look good, and I think he's going to be able to stay on this lead lap. Excuse me, that was the arena section.
Yes. So Bobby Rafferty come to the final corners. Stage 1, outright dominant pace. Car number 7. One more set of corners to be able to work through to close it out. There's more smoke being kicked up by some of the lap traffic. It's Bobby Rafferty who takes stage 1, and he does so by 7 seconds.
Led every lap in the stage. Rafferty did very well, and I think you mentioned it, Justin. We talked about tire wear and how important that was going to be, and Bobby Rafferty ran extremely consistent lap times throughout those first 15 laps, and I think that's one of the big reasons we saw him be able to hold and extend that lead. Isaac Wilson came home second, Evan Janik third. Colin Bollinger got around Andrew Schob for fourth, and Schob did finish in that 5th spot.
Stage caution is out. Andrew Schob, the 5th and final car in the top 5, crosses the line. 27 seconds back of the race leader. And so the field now looks to regroup behind car number 7. Rafferty lapped his way up to 14th at the time of the caution flag.
You saw there, Robert McKay did go lap down there.
So we'll see how these drivers handle pit stops here. Remember, stage 2 ending at lap 35, so a little bit longer of a stage here in stage 2. Hearing there may be some off tracks involved with the Lucky Dog. We'll have to see what's going to happen.
Yeah,
We'll take a quick break. The field catching up to the pace car. We're under caution here at the Mystic Racing League.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Ballin TV and its coverage of the MRL. Under caution for the time changer 225. Already one stage in the books. The field still catching up to the pace car to be able to come into pit road. Pit road is open this time by. Your top 5 for the stage was Rafferty, Wilson, Janik, Bollinger, and Schob. Your thoughts so far tonight as we get set for stage 2 soon as these drivers come into pit?
I think it's all about consistency throughout these laps. You might as well, it's good to be a little bit slower but consistent. You want to avoid the mistakes. Obviously, these drivers up front being able to be fast and consistent, but a lot of these drivers that are around our mid-pack have found themselves being fast at times, but some of them got wrapped up in mistakes. Most of their undoing, some we saw like Pollock wrapped up in others. But I think consistency is one of the big keys. Another one here in pit road, do not slide through your box. All drivers are stacked up here, so if you lose time in pit road, you will lose more than one position.
Just about the entire field came down pit road except for Reggie Kive, Joshua Joe, and Jared Knopfsnyder. Those drivers look like they may be going for one more lap or taking a wave around. Race out pit road, look at that. It's the 23 Rayshawn Winkfield who wins the race. He took 2 tires.
2 tires. I want to see, I'm going to go back real quick and check, see which side he took. Normally we'd imagine to be the rights. Yeah, it looks like he took only rights for this, but wow, a 2-tire call is going to move him from 6th up to the lead for this second stage. Surprised to see anyone take that 2-tire call. It looks like John Ullman was another driver that decided to take that chance. So he has moved himself up from outside the top 10 into 7th.
Some interesting strategies for a couple drivers here. I'm not sure how this is going to work for the 23. We've seen how dominant Bobby Rafferty was as the long run kicked in. Some drivers are still taking the time to get damage repairs done, though, such as Allen, who got bounced around a lot in stage 1.
Yeah, Andrew Allen did not have the first stage he would have wanted. He did very well for himself getting back through the field. He had made his way up back within the top 10 after dropping outside of the top 15. So Andrew Allen, he qualified well for a reason, but just made a simple mistake, and that's one of the things that has put him in the back, and that's one of the things that collected him with damage. So he'll have to try to work himself farther forward here in this second stage, but he has lost ground that he could have made up earlier. Back to Rayshawn Winkfield about this 2-tire call. I'm not sure about it as well, Justin, because this is a longer stage. We just ran 15 laps, so we're going to run 20 here for this second stage, and we saw there's a way you can save your tires and do it well. Winkfield was running right outside the top 15, or excuse me, top 6. So he was one of those fast drivers, but I'm really interested to see how those left sides handle. So really how right-handers will handle when he goes around in them.
Drivers are now being told to stay single file until told when to double up around this racetrack. And it's going to be curious if some of these drivers are going to be able to make it on fuel through stage 2, like Reggie Kime here, who's trying to get a lead lap back. Pollock, heart rate is still pretty high for being under caution.
Well, look, you go after a drive, even when you go under caution, nerves are still up a little bit. You're still pumping with some gas, as they'd say. And so that, I'm not surprised to see that heart rate still up. You'd see, resting for a while, you see a lot of people sit around 60 and 70. So honestly, for under caution, 110, not bad at all. We also saw when we were looking along with him under regular green flag conditions, it was just over this. It was about 115 to 120. So surprised to see it around this same area. A little bit of a stack up here, trying to get the field set for this restart.
Yeah, several drivers trying to catch up to the field, nearly running each other over as the lights are out on top of the iRacing pace car. So it looks like by the time we get going, it's going to be about 15, 16 laps to work with in stage 2 under green. About the same distance as the previous run, not bad.
That's one thing I didn't quite consider, that we were running some of these laps, and I imagine that is why race control would have made it this way, to be that a little bit longer. They knew we'd run a couple of laps here under caution, getting the field reset, pit stops, and all of that as well. So I think that is going to work out in Rayshawn Winkfield's favor here for this second go-around. Again, I'm really interested to see how he takes those right-handers, because let's remember, he took right-side tires. That means when he takes left-handed corners, he's going to put most of that force into the right side of the car, onto those right-side tires, and with them being fresh, he can really hammer those out. But with the left sides being about now 19 laps old, 15 laps under green flag condition, when he takes right-handers and puts that weight on the left side to put it on those left side tires, they're going to wear more than the right sides, obviously, because they're still on from the same run earlier.
So we're going to find out how the strategy is going to work out in just a little bit here for Rayshawn Winkfield. Been running around the edges, if not in top 5 for parts of this one. To see if this is going to really work out for him. Driver's being told out of this corner here, being told to double up this time by through the end of the arena section. Isaac Wilson's been running up front. Evan Janik also the same. Keep an eye on that battle for what will be for the top 3 to begin stage 2. Of note, John Ullman starts this stage off in 7th. Decent pickup from the pit stop window. So
Another
just
driver.
about ready to go. Go ahead.
Another driver, Justin, I absolutely want drivers to watch, viewers to watch here. Colin Bollinger started in the back. He started 17th, worked his way up into the top 5 last time by. I think he's going to be one of those drivers that might be able to challenge Rafferty and Wilson. Ooh, a spinner under. Wow. Okay, spinner under caution.
Whoopsies, this is what he says on the radio. Doesn't lose the spot. Gets in position right in time as they get ready for the restart zone.
I was so caught off guard by that.
Well, that sets the tone. Stage 2 is underway. Winkfield didn't get as good of a launch compared to Bobby Rafferty. Rafferty goes earlier on the brakes as Winkfield sends himself off the racetrack. Wilson to the lead, and Rafferty turns to 53.
Bollinger 3 wide there, gets turned. That is going to kill this run for him. Again, no cautions. Oh, and he's going to get hit here in the rear by the 70 of McComas. So it gets even worse for Bollinger.
Another spin off Rafferty's nose just now through the S's as well. Let's take a look at the replay as Rafferty had a very messy start of this run for stage 2.
Yeah, you saw Rafferty just try to get back onto the racing surface there. Bollinger held his line, was not moving, trying to force Rafferty to fall back, and he was not going to do it. And so a little disagreement between them there. And then you saw there the 70 of Stephen McComas was running near the backfield and got into Bollinger.
Look at this deep send. Oh my goodness.
Made it work.
Yeah, he somehow got it. It nearly wrecked himself in front of the field. Look at this again.
Well, he made up about 5 spots doing it.
I don't know if that's intentional.
I can't believe he didn't lock it up. That's honestly impressive that he didn't lock it up.
I'm impressed he didn't spin himself or spin anyone else. But he's lost a lot of those spots he just picked up. Wilson in the race lead, though, as now the 71 is trying different lines to close the gap.
Janik within a second of Isaac Wilson. As well, Rayshawn Winkfield and Bobby Rafferty talking over the radio right now about that incident, because let's not forget, Winkfield was on the lead, on the pole into that turn number 1, and he sent it far off the track.
Yeah, a lot of people sent it in way too deep into turn 1 that time. Andrew Schob currently still holds on to 6th spot. Just trying to battle it out with Andrew Owens. That looks a lot better in this stage after his razzmatazz the last stage.
It got all of that damage fixed from his earlier incident. It actually happened right here in turn 13. He's battling with John Ullman side by side. This is the battle for fourth. Allen's going to go through. Ullman going to try to send it to the outside here. Not going to have enough speed. He's going to let Andrew Allen on through. So Andrew Allen, great recovery so far from the early incident. John Ullman now defending from Andrew Schob. Schob trying to move himself forward into the top 5. Ullman again started 7th on that restart. Did well after a few incidents with Bollinger and others with Winkfield. But he's under attack heavy from Andrew Schob.
Schob not wanting to give up that spot. At least wants to take the spot, I should rather say, in this instance. Just bobbles up the wheels though. Still less than 40 to go in the race as these drivers continue to turn laps and turn through the stages. Schob licks the stamp and sends it for a pass.
34 gonna have a great run here down into turn number 2. That outside line can really carry momentum. Andrew Schob, decent speed down into turn number 2. Not gonna take him look to the inside. Again, so difficult to look side by side through the S's. And Ullman gonna send it a little wide. That's gonna compromise his speed and open the door for Schob. And he's gonna go right on through. That's patience is key.
Patience is major key in this one. In that case, didn't get the rhythm down, paid the price for it.
That's one thing you saw. Schob put the pressure on John Ullman. It forced him into a mistake. Schob was able to move himself right on through. So that was excellent driving, getting in the head of your competitor out front.
By the way, Bobby Rafferty is flying up front. If we head back up front, he's gained a few tenths of the leader, but he's quickly gaining for second. Evan Janik has lost a lot of time this lap.
Yeah, lost a little bit more than a second there on Wilson. He was getting closer and closer, but looks like right now, I'm looking on my charts, and he's got a black flag. Not sure what it's for. He's asking for it clear over the radio.
I don't think he's going to get that. That would have been from a course cut.
Oh, my. Brandon talking one of the race controls.
Oh, we got it
right now. Wow.
Okay.
Interesting. Did not expect that, Justin.
He did give up the spot. He gave it up immediately to Bobby Rafferty.
It might have been one of the compromises.
Yes, had to have been.
Lost about a second and a half in that exchange, letting Rafferty by. So for getting that black flag cleared, they might have told him to let Rafferty by instead to lose some of that time. So that moves Bobby Rafferty up into second, trying to hunt down Isaac Wilson, who is leading for the first time today after the incidents happened in turn number 1 on the opening lap of this stage, and he's been cruising so far. But like you said, Justin, Rafferty is gaining on him. It's within 2 seconds now.
That's a teammate too, so you have to wonder what the teammate communication's like right now, knowing Rafferty wants that lead back, probably. You see some of the time sectors between Rafferty and Wilson.
I think they'll play nice with each other, especially with so many laps left to go in this race, 39 to go. I think Rafferty will definitely hunt him down over time. Again, let's see how the tires wear, because this is the first time Bobby Rafferty has not been in clean air all day. So that is definitely affecting how he is driving. But I think definitely if they get to one another, there's going to be clean racing between them. And Rafferty gained about 0.3 of a second through that final corner.
Yeah, he's gaining a lot of time in these corner entries through exits right now. Rafferty handling the corners very precisely. See how long Wilson's lead lasts, though, is the main thing. For those wondering on some of the battles right now, Alex Pollock is amongst those in a decent battle. He's closing up to Ullman. This is 15 seconds back on the leader. They also have Schob just up the road.
Pollock, great job for his recovery from early on in this race. Him and Andrew Allen have done a great job. They were actually the two to make contact. That's what put Andrew Pollock on the pit lane earlier in that last caution to repair some of that. I imagine he used his fast spray. Actually, he didn't, so he's still got some of that damage he had from earlier. You can see it there on the right front of that Pennzoil Ford Mustang. But he's done a great job to recover solely on speed alone. he's trying to hunt down John Ullman.
Yeah, just trying to make things stick right now. By the way, some of the drivers that got bounced around a bit during this stage, Bollinger, easily able to get around Wingfield. He's going to need a hope for a much better stage 3. We've seen Bollinger gain so many spots in stage 1. It's not going to be as easy. He's lost double the time from all those incidents on lap 1.
Yeah, it really, it was so frustrating. He was coming back on track, gets nailed again, so he lost even more time. He's gained 5 spots or so since the incident. He just got around Rayshawn Wingfield, and again, Rayshawn Wingfield, one of those drivers that started up front, big time lockup into turn number 1, got involved in some of that incident that we saw that Bollinger was as well. But Bollinger looking well, back up towards the front. Bobby Rafferty now within a second of teammate Isaac Wilson, and that is a fact, Justin. He is on the way forward.
Last time by set the fastest lap of the race as well. That's how quickly Rafferty's been able to run. Once he gets about 5 laps or so on these tires, he's been very comfortable with this road course.
And that's all to say, Isaac Wilson is also running great times. There's a reason he qualified second in this race. That's a reason he's doing well out front right now. It just looks like Bobby Rafferty at this stage has the edge, able to run just enough faster to gain on Isaac Wilson. But back behind them, Evan Janik is 2.5 seconds back from Rafferty, so it's really a 2-car fight currently for this lead, and it's between teammates, like you said.
How do they race each other is going to be the question. We've seen Rafferty have a disastrous start to stage 2. Lap traffic ahead might play a factor, though. Up front, it's Robert McKay, who's already at risk of being lapped. That's how rough McKay's stage number 2 has gone so far. We'll see if that's going to hold up the leader. Oh, it forces him to be a little bit more aggressive on the corner. Rafferty sends it even deeper and sends the 88 off on contact.
Got to move him out of the way. Robert McKay comes over the radio, apologizes for getting in the way of those leaders, so Rafferty had to get him out of the way. He lost a little bit of that time he had gained on Wilson, but not much, just about 2/10.
More lap traffic. Now stopping in the middle of the chicane. Doesn't play too much of a factor this time, but lap traffic is going to become a major thing for this track. You'd have to think in real life as well. This smaller layout means a lot more likely to see competitors that are not having a fun time. Wilson not having a fun corner. Here comes Rafferty to the bumper.
Out of turn number 13, Wilson, big issue. Wide here for Bobby Rafferty, trying to find speed on the exit. So after that incident from Wilson, he lost a good bit of time, and his teammate is now on the heels. Rafferty bringing it to the inside, gaining speed on the paint of those curbs. Again, I think they're going to play nice here between these teammates. Rafferty gets a great exit there out of the turn 19, sends it to the inside in the final corner. Battle is on for the lead, and Rafferty's going to go by.
Not an issue at all. Made the pass easily. And now new race leader, Bobby Rafferty in the 7. Looking at some of the air groups again. Holston looking a lot better in this stage. He had a disastrous stage 1. Holston looking much more comfortable here as he looks to try and work Pollock.
Yeah, Holston a lot better, got involved in one of those incidents early on in this race because he had started up in 11th. He's now moved himself to 9th after the restart of this second stage, right on the back of Alex Pollock.
Gonna have to find a way to get around him at this point. Oh, he used a little bit of the turtles, nearly got to the bumper.
It was real close. I thought he might have gotten loose there to get that. I'm surprised he was able to keep so much traction, keep that car straight. Oh, big move. Alex Pollock is going to go way fast through the S's, and that's going to lose a ton of time. He's going to have to give up this position to Adam Holston.
Yeah, that's a massive corner cut, and that was already warned upon significantly by Race Control. Holston still has not found a way around Pollock despite the 92 trying to bleed the time. Oh, and there's contact. Around the 8 goes for the pass. Wakefield also gets alongside as Pollock, at the very least, cleared the cut through.
I wouldn't be surprised if Race Control takes a look back at that one. You saw once the 92 of Pollock missed the S's. He gunned it through, down through that last S, and stayed in front of Adam Holston, and now has stayed in front of Rayshon Winkfield, because I think Winkfield would have passed him as well if he would have slowed down to lose back that time that he gained by cutting the course. So I wouldn't be surprised if Race Control might take a look at that, especially causing contact after.
Yes, and Winkfield sent it. Huge send there by Winkfield, trying to make the pass on Pollock. Tempers are flaring.
Yeah, you can hear him frustrated over the radio.
Oh, here we go again.
23 sends it to the inside of Pollock. Still not able to make it work. He's going to lose time here into turn number 2. So a lot of drivers frustrated over the radio right now.
Got to keep things tempered if you want to be able to survive this very challenging racetrack. We still have a lot more time to go here in the stage, by the way, with how things are going at the moment. There's a lot of conversation too, and some of the battles, you could say. This is right now for the Lucky Dog spot at the moment.
This is Jared Cope-Snyder on the back of Robert McKay. Oh, big shot there. Cope-Snyder is going to give to Robert McKay. You saw it right off the bumper camera. So Jared Cope-Snyder trying to get on to this position to be in the possibility for that lucky dog, because we do have one more stage break. You'll see car around. That's the Reese's car. I believe that is the 12 of Brandon Willard.
It's not been a fun final corner. He's had several spins in the final corner in the same spot throughout this one. He's found a way to park it there at least 2 or 3 times tonight.
Well, and that's one of those sections. It's a very difficult part of the racetrack. You'll see out of the penultimate corner, down on the brakes, and just late, a little bit too late on the brakes, tries to go into the corner, too much speed, and right when he crosses over, that's what it is. When he crosses over on to the stripes there, you can lose speed if you try to get on the gas too early. It is really a challenging corner, as simple as it might look.
We'll see now how the rest of these battles fare out still, with these drivers having coming up to 6 laps to go in the stage. Pollock has had an error problem. He's continuing to fall down the order. What happened to the 92? I believe he may have pulled over to the side here. He might have served that corner cut penalty that was talked about in the race meeting, where if you cut a certain corner, you had to stop here.
I was just thinking about I thought it might have been some contact between him and Winkfield. They were having some disagreements over the radio, but ended up being the right call. Comes over, serves the penalty for cutting that course earlier, and loses a ton of position. Look at this, Justin. I just noticed this looking back at my chart. Colin Bollinger has made it back up to 6th.
My goodness.
He truly has speed.
Looking at him now on screen, it's been that type of a race. The tough thing is, he needs to close up 6 seconds if he wants stage points.
And I think he can do it. He's got 6 or so laps to be able to. I think it's definitely going to be close if he can. But here's the thing. He's back up in the fight for this lead. I think if he can get through the opening lap of the final stage, he might have a possibility to win, because he is flying right now, running faster than Bobby Rafferty, your leader.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting for stage 3 if he's able to get a clean start through turn 1 compared to the last stage. Just got to keep the consistency up. There's Bobby Rafferty's times for reference sake right now. Bobby Rafferty right now leading by almost a second. In fact, more than a second.
Yeah, Rafferty has really put a little bit of distance between him and his teammate Isaac Wilson, but not as much. ATVO has had a crash, so we will get it restarted as soon as we can for you with our timing screen. We do apologize about that. But like you said, Justin, Rafferty has moved away from his teammate, and like while you were saying that, had a little bit of a problem. He's lost about half a second, but trying to gain it back. So it's a little bit closer than last time we saw last time in stage 1.
Yeah. See right now what's going to happen for the rest of the stage. We're under 5 laps to go in the stage. By the way, these drivers should be well good on that time you just seen pop up. There was an hour and 30 minutes to go in the terms of time marks. We should not take an hour and 30 minutes for stage 3.
No, I don't think we will. Very extremely unlikely to see any cautions. I can say almost with 99% certainty. Whoa, big time over the curbs for Bollinger. He's hunting down the 82 of Jared Copesnyder here. Copesnyder already a lap down. You saw him battling earlier with Robert McKay for that lucky dog. But Bollinger trying to make his way through. Had to lock it up there a little bit for the 82. Going to dive to the inside here. Copesnyder going to let him go. But Bollinger about just under 30 seconds back from your leader of Rafferty.
Yeah, so far, see that difference now on the stop charts. Rafferty a little bit quicker in the middle section. Bollinger a little bit quicker at the start of the lap. He is definitely going to get up to Job at this pace. As long as he keeps it up is the key word. Although I'm noticing Bollinger is really using up those rear tires right now with the throttle. Oh, traffic forcing him to slam the brake.
It's going to force another lockup. We saw it just a moment ago when he was battling with Copesnyder trying to get by him. He goes by Stephen McComas here, another lap car. But those lockups, if we see him again, it's going to be that tire finding a little bit of a flat spot here within that tire grading, and it's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah, that's going to be a balancing act for him the rest of the way. Rafferty, 4 laps to go in the stage. Isaac Wilson's keeping him honest. Rafferty can't afford any major mistakes if he wants to win the stage over his teammate.
We saw that one mistake for Wilson that eventually gave Bobby Rafferty the lead. But Isaac Wilson has been mistake-free ever since, running right behind his teammate in that number 7. So they continue to run here very close together. Again, Rafferty just not able to get away like he did in the opening stage. He finished it with, I think you said, a 7-second gap lead back to his teammate at the time. But this time, only about 1 second. As we saw, I think that was that moment for the 93. He loses time.
Yeah. Looking like we'll see what will happen here for these drivers. Looking like Wilson had some mistakes, as we see now more battling on screen. Brock and Wakefield getting a little bit of rubbing and banging.
A heavy fight here between the 21 of Isaac Brock and Rayshawn Wingfield. That was a battle for 9th. Wingfield able to move himself through. There's a little bit of contact, like you said beforehand, between these two. So I think this battle will keep itself up, as we've got just under 4 laps here in the final laps of this stage. Brock gonna give him the bump. That's gonna get Wingfield sideways. Wingfield gonna send the block now down to the inside here for Brock. And I think Rayshawn Wingfield is gonna bring himself towards the pit lane.
Might be playing the strategy game. Next lap, pit road closes. So why not? And now it looks like Brock keep on going as Wingfield trying to play the strategy game to be at the front of the field for a second consecutive start of a stage.
I wonder, I think this is strategy call, but I also wonder how those left side tires look, because let's not forget, he took only 2 tires last time when he came in.
He's got to hurry. You know why? The leader's on the front straight away.
He's got to go.
He's not going to get it. I don't think he's going to get it.
Well,
in fact, it's going to be borderline. Rafferty outside, locks it up from being spooked by seeing the car as Winkfield goes off the track anyway.
Well, here's the good news. He's going to pass Rayshon Winkfield here, and Winkfield is going to be that first car a lap down. But here's what I'm thinking. I believe, I'm looking back at it, Winkfield will be able, oh, is he spun in the grass?
Well, that's not good for Winkfield, and he's now already towed, so there goes that strategy.
There it goes. I was going to say that he could take the wave around since he had already pitted, but he might be under threat to go 2 laps down here after having to tow the car. So I think that might be day done from trying to take that strategy.
By the way, Wilson did serve a penalty. He had a course cut. That's why he lost so much time on the racetrack and why he's in 4th spot instead of 2nd spot. If you end up getting the black flag in the sim for a course cut, race control made it clear you had to stop at a turn 2. And that's what Wilson had to do in addition to losing time for the course cut.
It was interesting to see because we saw the quote-unquote course cut. He went outside of the track. You know, we saw him lose a ton of time. He overshot the penultimate corner and went very wide on the outside. Now, I imagine that could be taken as drivers opening up that corner to gain more speed. But I'm surprised that race control didn't look like that, but I guess they're playing it as, hey, if you get a black flag for track cutting at all, then it's going to be, you're going to have to do that stop and go.
Start at lap 35. Final lap of stage 2. Bobby Rafferty, again, able to show off his speed muscles and be able to get the race lead after only a few laps in the stage. A couple drivers battling outside of stage points right now. That's swapped now for the 10th spot. Brock now in P10 again.
Yeah, Brock, we saw him earlier battling with Winkfield. They had that heavy contact, and he let Winkfield and that 92 of Pollock go by. He's now raced his way back by 92 of Alex Pollock. Look along here with Bollinger. He's finally caught up to the back of Andrew Schob. Now within a second, trying to get 5th on this last lap. Need those stage points. They're important.
Looking to close things out pretty quickly here as we see some of the onboards for the battles. This is right now that battle for 5th. He's trying to get there. Bollinger trying to send it on the FSR car. Bollinger alongside, side by side for the final point in the stage. Crosses him over for the cut to the right.
You can just see it as through those S's and through that cutback section, Bollinger is just so much faster. He's able to find the speed, dives down to the inside, gonna get a little bit of a tag there from Schob. There might not be enough time for him to catch up.
Rafferty's already picked up the stage. Everjanik, Allen, and Wilson. Bollinger tries it. He's going to nearly spin the car, and that should just about do it for the stage for the battle. Andrew Schob will hold on to 5th position. And looks like he'll take the green and white checkered here. We should see the caution come out right after he gets across the line now.
What a defense by Andrew Schob. Really did well there through that last section, and I think that was one of the things. Colin Bollinger so fast through the S's and through the cutback that we see, but through that last section when he battled with him, just wasn't able to find the speed to keep in front of him.
Reset your top 5. Bobby Rafferty, Evan Janik, Andrew Wilson, Isaac Wilson, Andrew Schob, your top 5. We'll take a step aside. Pit stop's coming up. You're watching the MRL from Austin.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ballin TV as we get set for pit stops for the start of Stage 3. Already past halfway, as Bobby Rafferty has swept the first two stages here tonight. Here from Austin, Joseph Prince alongside Scott Shive, DJ Line producing here this evening as we continue to the time changer 2:25. Your thoughts so far, Scott, as we get ready for pit stops before we get to Stage 3?
Yeah, been an excellent day for Rafferty, Janik, and Isaac Wilson. They have been so consistent up out front. But other thoughts as well. Andrew Allen has done a great job getting back from early incident. Colin Bollinger, both stages, has got involved in incidents and been able to work himself right outside or inside. He worked himself to fourth, first stage, sixth this second stage, and was battling for fifth with Andrew Schob. So I really think if Colin Bollinger can keep it clean on this restart after the pit stops, or maybe gain a few in the pit lane, that he could be the one to challenge for this lead. Pit stops commence.
Dirt pit stops now. We'll see if we see any two-tire stops like we seen one or two people attempt last stage. Looks like somebody is staying out of the racetrack, though. Anthony Trippi is trying to take the wave. Everybody else is down for scheduled service. Looks like everyone just getting up on the jacks, no problems for able to take their service here. Should see 4 tires and fuel.
4 tires and fuel. Colin Bollinger just finished his stop. You'll see a little bit of a battle for the lead between Janik and Rafferty. What is iRacing gonna call? I think it is going to be Rafferty. It's switching back and forth on my ticker, and no, it will be Evan Janik barely edging out Rafferty on that pit stop.
All Rafferty can do is laugh on that race off pit road. It was close. Janik got a better launch out of the boxes. What else can you say? Got up to speed. Got the edge right there. Had to drive through him, though.
Wow. That is extremely impressive by Janik. Just got a great jump out of the box. Was able to just get the nose that he needed to start up front.
Interesting choice here. Again, 71 beating the 7 for the race off pit road. The track, by the way, It's really gotten colder on that track. It started off around 90 degrees.
Yeah, see, the sun has been not setting, but it's been getting lower in the sky. Normally we see track temps, especially at an hour like this, rise, but tonight, or this afternoon in the sim, they have been falling a little bit.
You gotta love this racetrack, though. It's really exciting. It's one of the top venues in the country for a reason. This racetrack has built a lot of popularity over the past decade plus.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, it just puts on excellent racing no matter what series comes here, whether it be NASCAR, whether it be Formula One, whether it be IMSA. A lot of series run here, and it's for a reason. This track just designed so beautifully. It really involves everything. You've got cutbacks, you've got chicanes, long straightaways, right-handers, left-handers, 90 degrees, all the way to turn one, huge dive bomb area corner, and it widens out. It really holds everything you would want out of your ideal racetrack.
Looks like Reggie Kime also taking the wave around once again, by the way, here. Surprised that he's been able to stretch things fuel-wise so far, as looks like they will get the wave around this time by. Want to go signal. Janik, Rafferty, Allen, Wilson, Schob, your top 5. How do you play this if you're the 71, now with a chance to control the race lead for a little bit here?
Yeah, I don't know. Rafferty and him were talking over the radio, talking about what lanes they were going to choose. You know, he was talking about, I think Janik was asking Rafferty what would he like, trying to be, I guess, nice to each other. I know I definitely wouldn't ask him, would just choose what's best for me. We're going to have to see this time around what Janik will choose, but I think getting a clean jump, don't overshoot turn number 1. I think if I'm Janik, I take the outside. Rafferty is probably going to try to go to the inside, send it, but if you go to that outside, get a good round through the corner, you're going to carry speed down into turn number 2, and you're going to get out of the way of any sort of chaos that might follow in your rear. If Janik is able to do that and get out to the lead in front of Rafferty, then you got to put down clean and consistent laps, because Bobby Rafferty is going to do that, no doubt.
It's a heart rate, by the way, for Pollock. He's in 12 for this upcoming restart. Eventually he's going to realize... Go ahead.
We ever figure out what is on his shelves?
I've got that answer for... It's tomatoes. It's tomatoes.
Really?
Yes, it's one of his sponsors on the car.
There we go.
His heart rate stayed around the 110s, 112s all throughout the race tonight, interestingly enough. See the Ballin TV scheme now on the car, by the way. He's still dealing with the right side damage. Even though he's at the back of the lead lap, he still hasn't gotten it fixed yet.
Yeah, surprised he didn't use that faster pair there that last time through. You know, the only reason you're going to be coming into the pit lane from any time on for now will be if you're involved in a huge incident, and your day would likely be done then.
Just about all set to go. 15 cars still on the lead lap in this one. It is Chevy.
Inside.
Yeah. Looks like he chose the normal line. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Toyota. Manufacturer running orders here. Just getting all revved up for the start box once again. 22 laps to go when we take the green flag. See who gets the best of launches here in this one. Stage 3 underway from Austin. Dead even on the start. See who handles turn 1 the best. Rafferty from the outside. Sends it a little bit too deep. Still able to hold on to second, though, as a lot of bumping and shoving behind him.
Everyone's going to get through cleanly, even in the rear. So Evan Janik does retain the lead off the start. Big moment. I think that's the 21. Yes, it is, of Isaac Brock. So big moment down at turn 2 and into the S's. So we avoided calamity for as long as we could. But huge moment for the 21 of Brock.
Let's take a look at this. This got very interesting back here. What happened with McKay?
We saw him take a big sin last time. He's going to try it again here. So McKay takes a big sin big time into the back of the 29. Beating and banging here on the inside, trying to gain positions. He's being aggressive as he should. It looks like the 21 just gets loose out of turn 2, trying to push for all he can. Oh, big, I think that was Pollock.
Yeah, he was very aggressive on this lap, to say the very least, because he's already sputtered around again. Just got into contact with Christian Barnes again. Barnes spinning it around.
Well, and while we were talking about that, Bobby Rafferty has taken the lead away from Janik. It was Janik. He had a sideways out of turn number 14 and just had a bit of a moment. We continue to look along here with Barnes, trying to work back after that. And there goes McKay.
McKay going around in that sequence. McKay has just been issued a 2-lap penalty for aggressive driving.
Surprised to see that one. Really didn't see him get into anybody. I mean, we saw a little bit of beating and banging, but not. I'm surprised to see that penalty. I mean, we didn't see him turn anybody or anything of that nature, but it's a penalty for nonetheless. It's for jumping the start. Just getting that from our producer.
All right. So you're in 2-lap penalty. We'll see when he serves it, or if he serves it. That's what I heard with the race control. So now Rafferty continues to lead and pull off and away.
Yeah, look at this. Colin Bollinger has moved himself up into third, trying to battle for second here with Janik. He's going to move himself through. Looks like Janik just has not had that pace to be able to keep up with Rafferty. He did his best out front, but the moment he made a mistake, Rafferty jumped on it. And what did I say? If Colin Bollinger could make it through turn number 1, 2, and 3, he might be one that could battle for this lead. Only thing is, he's 3.5 seconds back.
Good race for him so far. Now in this third stage especially, has had to recover from some spins, some turnarounds throughout this race. Bollinger's had the speed. It's already 3.4 seconds the distance at the moment. As hearing Robert McKay had just had a crash. McKay said on the radio he was parking at Miss Pit Road and crashed with 4 different cars.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to see this back from the 88 of McKay. We'll take a look back here through the stadium section. He knows he's gotta have to serve this penalty, and he might force it a little wide here into the penultimate corner. He's gonna go to the inside here of Cope Snyder and trying to get into the pit lane. Just looks like he overshoots it and miss it. And look, he's gonna get here contact with some drivers. Oh my goodness. Oh, big moment for, I think that was Pollock.
Well, how about that? He had said on the radio, I'm parking it in the middle of trying to slam the brakes. That got chaotic and quickly from the 92.
Big damage there for Pollock. You'll see him, oh yeah, you'll see a replay there, and yeah, just loses. He's gonna get damage and he's gonna lose time to Christian Barnes and Cope Snyder.
Add that to the damage list for Pollock's front nose tonight. Right now, he's still running where he started this race in 10th.
Oh, and look, this is going to be a spin for Janik out of the 5th spot in the final corner. Janik is going to go around. That's going to let John Ullman get past here and maybe Andrew Schob.
Spun around and twisted around. Let's see it on the replay. Missed the apex, looped it.
I was waiting to see the end of this lap. That's why I was watching around for him. The last time before that spin, the last lap, he had a 143. And I was really interested if he has some sort of damage or he's just running really conservatively. But I'm interested to see. We'll have to see the next time by. And look at this. Look at who is flying. It's Colin Ballinger. He's closed that gap from 3.5 now to 1.5.
He's coming. And this is the true test now. Does he have enough pace to get up there and fight? He's got 19 laps to do the job. And right now we've seen that Ballinger does have the pace to be with the race leader on the short to mid run.
Gotta wonder here, Justin. We've got 19 laps left. Gotta wonder if Ballinger is looking after himself here, because again, 19, a lot of laps, the most that we have run here in a stage. We talked about it, tire wear, extremely important here at COTA. He's gonna go around for a slide, a little bit too aggressive, and Ballinger's gonna spin it.
And he just towed it. He parked it instead of trying to stay up towards the front for a good finish. So there goes some points on the table there as Bobby Rafferty will now get a big cushion over Andrew Allen.
Oh my goodness. I'm heartbroken for him. I mean, what a difficult day. He's going to disconnect from the session. But what a difficult day. I mean, he did everything he could, and everything was out of his control except for that moment. And I think it sent him over the edge.
Now there's some air battles on the racetrack. John Ullman already having to serve a stop and go in turn 2. He's now got Joshua Thornton within range. Thornton, he's been up and down the running order, but this is one of his higher spots in the order, in 7th at the moment.
He's had a fairly quiet day. I know that he's gotten involved in some incidents, but nothing of true precedent. But right now trying to hunt down John Ullman, and what a job for Ullman. Had a rough first stage, was running back inside the top 15, pitted with 2 tires, was able to hold himself within that top 10, and he's currently running in 6th.
Yeah, the question's going to be, is he going to be able to find his way fully up to the 34? Last time by 142.7. John Ullman a 148.4 with the stop and go. Holston in the 143.1s.
Holston.
Right. Oh, there looks like
to improve his day.
Oh, look at that. Janik losing ground again. Led by the 34. Nearly had contact. Now he slides off the track.
I think he's got some sort of problem. I think he's slow for some reason. He's been running extremely slow laps. Well, look at that. He just does not. You see him right there through the final turn. He just does not have speed.
Did he lose the shifter or something?
I'm not sure, but I think we saw him through turn 1 earlier. He held it fine, but I don't know. He's got some sort of issue because he is running really slow laps. So we see him consistently in the top 3 all night long. But right now he's running about 4 seconds off the pace he was earlier. And he's been doing it for the past 5 laps or so, ever since lap 1 of the stage.
Very concerning potentially, especially after he showed good pace all throughout this race early going. It's been a lot more different now, a lot more off tracks, a lot more higher gear being carried forward, a lot more struggle for the 71's end of race pace. So, still 17, coming to 16 laps to go in this race. For those wondering where Isaac Wilson's now cycled on all this, he's holding on to 3rd as he's trying to run in the 3rd spot on his own. That's after he too had one of those penalties. He's recovered well from it.
You saw that penalty near the end of the waning laps of stage number 2, was able to reset through the pit stops and the beginning of stage 3. It's almost like it didn't happen. He lost a few spots because of it, but able to recover those now. Only driver in front of him that wasn't earlier is Andrew Allen. Allen having a great day after his incident. Again, we saw him a lot of drivers involved in stuff in stage number 1, but after they got that reset were really able to recover well. Andrew Allen being one of those drivers. Battle here back, I believe this is for 7th.
Look at the brake glowing from the rotors. You can see the orange and red just sizzling on those brakes.
Yeah, really. I mean, we see them heaviest down into turn number 1. Smoke brake pressure these drivers use all segments long here at this long track of Circuit of the Americas. But right now, Joshua Thornton in this 29 trying to hold off Adam Holston. Again, 29 and having a quiet day, but he's trying to finish it out here within the top 10.
Yeah, right now just trying to finish out strong. Same can be said for Holston, just trying to finish with a good solid points day. Not being in the stage points through both of the stages for the 8 machine. Janik all of a sudden has picked back up his pace. He's back in the 1 minute 41 second bracket, so he's turned the speed back up at least.
Yeah, that I was just about to mention it, and it makes me think you'll see Ullman will go way wide here. That'll open the door here for Janik. This has been a trouble spot for him here into this 3rd stage. He's going to hit the curb, keep it straight. Good job there for Janik. I really think, at first I thought it was a mechanical problem, but after these last 2 laps, seeing him find the speed back that he had earlier in this race, I really think that he just got so out of rhythm that he could not find it and kept making mistakes. That's why we saw him put in so many laps consistently slower than we saw in the first 2 stages.
Yes, indeed. Still Barnes, race sponsor for tonight. Just trying to find his way around these 2 in front of him at the moment. No place to really go. Yeah, great battle, but no place to go.
Yeah, the S is extreme. I mean, it's almost impossible place to pass unless someone makes a huge mistake. And so right now, these cars nose to tail here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Joshua Thornton doing an excellent job on defense. Adam Holston not able to find a way around, and that's keeping Christian Barnes in his place as well. Ooh, Barnes is going to spin it.
Oh, no. Too hard on the gas, loops it off. There goes that battle. He still has the cushion for 9th.
He has the cushion to 9th, but he is going to lose that battle. He was possibly faster than Holston, and Thornton didn't quite get to see it, but that is going to lose him a possibility of 2 positions gained. Holston trying to dive the inside here, backs out of it, tries to go for it again. They're going to go side by side here. Down out of turn number 1, and now into last corner, excuse me. Holston really going for it, and I think he's going to get it here, but they're going back side by side.
Closest battle on the racetrack at the moment, by the way. Holston going to hold on to the spot now. Thornton trying to pressurize Holston to a mistake. Couldn't force him up the racetrack. Holston, much better corner exit.
You saw Adam Holston found an opening on Joshua Thornton, and he took it when he had it. And I think that's showing now this true speed of the number 8 car. Excellent camera shots there provided by Whiplash SimCams. But that 8, I think this is the speed we've been wanting to see out of him all race long.
Yeah, Holston at the very least trying to see if he can at least get a 6th place finish. How things are being considered here would be still in line for the points lead overall. One of the top drivers this season in the standings. Haven't touched much about the standings. He had a 15-point cushion over Janik entering tonight in those points. Janik with 2 stage wins. Holston having 3 playoff points built up with the race win, along with Janik's win as well. So things have been looking good in the case in the points all season long.
Having another consistent day here, at least if he can round out this finish, definitely does not want to make a mistake. And Joshua Thornton still pretty close by. Plus, I believe Holston might have enough speed to pass, as we'll see him pass a lap car there that had spun. I think he will have enough time to possibly catch John Ullman.
Gonna need to be getting up and going though. 13 laps to go. Needs to close up 3-4 seconds to do something there. As Thornton just tries to keep the car stable. Checking on Janik. He's 9 seconds up the road from all that. He's trying to get up to 4th again. Andrew Job is within 2 seconds.
He's been closing down that gap ever so slightly. Shob has had a very consistent night. You'll see Janik pass a lap car. That was the 10 of Joshua Gillen. And so Janik still trying to close this down bit by bit. Now it's under 2 seconds. So Janik slowly moving in on Andrew Shob.
Just trying to inch closer and closer after struggling to start this stage for whatever reason. Andrew Shub's doing a great job this race once again, though, to give him credit. He's been silently a great road course racer for all things considered, that FSR car.
That's one thing. I mean, sometimes it's great to have a quiet night. I mean, I think we've mentioned his name a couple times when we've talked about the restarts, but besides that, really not. And I think that's sometimes how you want to have your night. He's running decently in the top 5. He's been running in the top 5 all night long. So it has been great out of that 69 Wendy's machine. So Andrew Shob has done a great job so far trying to advance himself in these points.
See a couple of the cameras there is now. Here's a look at Shob's cam. See him just trying to go left, right, marching his way through these corners. No issue, no problems.
You're looking in the back of Anthony. Gonna get around him.
Oh, the gap is gone. Janik nearly to the bumper. Nearly sent it.
I think that was Job losing a little bit of time there in that kickback to Anthony Trippi, with him being right in front. Was a little bit slower than Job would have liked. Wrong place, wrong time. That has closed up the gap from Job to Janik. And Janik now trying to get back up into 4th. Again, like we said, had a bad start to this stage. Could not find his rhythm that he's had all night long. And at one point after lap number 3 or so, it really clicked for him. And so he's trying to cause a mistake here for Shob. But Shob has been like a brick of concrete all night long.
Consistently inside the top 5 in the stages. Just needs to finish it for 11 more laps around the racetrack. But Janik's looking for the send. Going the nose. Now goes for the lunge. Shob forced to lock up the tires, as there's the pass now for 4th.
Great move for Janik. See if Shob looks for anything here out of turn number 2. Doesn't have enough speed to do it, so there we go. Janik back up into 4th. And I guess a concrete brick would be a cinder block, Justin.
I mean,
I think
yeah,
so.
Yeah, it would be. He's been a cinder block. I guess what else can you say?
Hey, look, he's been solid, and it looks like he's probably going, if he stays solid like he has been, he will have a top 5 night. And Janik, again, working himself back right now. The gap between him and Isaac Wilson, about 14 seconds, and I think that's one gap that he might not be able to make up. So I think, again, if he can keep it clean and solid as well, he'll end the night 4th, which is definitely not bad.
Woolard, meanwhile, still keeping going. 3 laps down, but he's actually gained spots in this race. He started 21st. He's the first car multiple laps down in 14th.
Yeah, Willard, we've seen him had trouble all night long. Just those simple mistakes that we've seen out of a lot of guys. We saw him A lot of spins out of the final turn, a few other places. He's been able to recover a little bit of a lockup there into turn one. But just one of those drivers that has had a little bit of an abysmal night in terms of his performance. And he's been trying to recover from that, but it has not worked out. And it really, a lot like played for the key. Going to lose some track position there in terms of going off track, but it really didn't work out for him in terms of the lucky dog. Through those spins and occurrences, we saw him lose the lead lap, and then other drivers obviously did as well, and I think that's what has trapped him and eventually gotten him to this point in the race where he is 3 laps down.
How are things going for the race leader, by the way? How about 7 seconds this time? Large lead he's had all race long. Bobby Rafferty could have won it at Daytona, ended up having penalties, had a chance to win it in California, ended up losing the last few moments of that race. Today, he's been picture perfect to be able to try and give himself the victory lane. Still has 9 more circuits to go.
He's looked so good all night long, led all of the first stage, led half of the second stage in battle with his teammate Isaac Wilson after Wilson had a great pit stop. And then he's led all but 1 lap of this final stage so far as we kick it under 10 to go, now 9 to go for Rafferty. And what a night he has had. We talked about solid from guys like Shobe and Allen, but I mean, we've got to have even a firmer word here for Bobby Rafferty, because what a night it has been for him. Extremely, extremely consistent.
Fastest car on the track right now is Evan Janik, by the way. He just did a 1:38.7. It's going to be a little bit slower as he reaches lap traffic this time, but he's been pushing downside. The next nearest car is a long way up the road. 15 seconds, in fact.
Yeah, and it was that about a lap and a half ago when we last checked in on Janik, so hasn't really been able to gain too much. Isaac Wilson is running, and Janik running about the exact same lap times. We said Janik fastest car last time by. Well, Isaac Wilson is only 0.2 slower than that last time by the line. And so while Janik is putting on the pace right now, it's just not going to be enough.
Keep an eye on Holston. He has now closed that gap on Ullman. Remember, that was a 3-second deficit at one point. Holston just handling his corners a little bit better compared to the 34. Leaps in, takes the spot, entering the arena section, or at least tries to. Ullman able to keep it alongside at least and get the speed back for the defense.
Inch down Holston there, but he's going to run wide here out of this corner. Holston's going to be able to make a charge to the outside in the stadium section. Ullman going to try to block him down, keep him there on the outside. Run through, good speed here for John Ullman. So excellent defense after a little bit of a mistake. Penultimate corner here. He's going to run wide. We've seen that commonly out of him all night long. We saw it earlier when Janik got past him. This time he wasn't quite slow enough for Holston to make his way through, but that is one of those weak spots. Big time loose moment for the 8 of Holston. Now lose a little bit of time down the front straightaway with that.
Holston's been better quarter exit though. Keep that in mind as lap traffic opens the door. Lap traffic giveth, lap traffic Holston nearly took it away.
Anthony Trippi there right in the way of where John Ullman was trying to run his line on the exit of turn number 1. Gap a little bit shorter now between him and Holston after that front straightaway. You can see Holston just running a little bit better here through the S's. I think it's one of those deals. You got to find the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent out in front of you. And Adam Holston has probably found that Ullman rough on that last corner. They both take it wide. Corner entry, lock it up for Ullman. Where will Holston try to find the attack and find the open moment?
Just has to pick the right moment. He's got a lot of time to think about it. But how long do you wait if you have an opportunity like this? How long do you wait when you're this close for a pass?
If you get an opening, Justin, you don't. You take it now. Here it is.
There it is. There it is. Is it? No. Holston had to get out of the gas. He's trying it. Holston couldn't get it to cut. And nearly spins it.
I'm surprised. That is the first time, at least, and it probably happened a lot of laps when we weren't on time with him. But John Ullman, excellent there through that penultimate corner where we have seen him weak. So he's able to gain a little bit of time on Holston here. So Holston will have to try to reset and get another try, because I still think that Holston is faster. Oh, big lockup for Ullman. So he's going to lose that gap, and then there's a moment for Holston. It's back and forth between the mistakes, and that might open the door here for Christian Barnes that has been slowly creeping up behind them if they've been making mistake after mistake.
Yeah, this could open the door now for Barnes to be able to steal 2 spots in one. Remember, he got turned around a little while ago. Now, just got to pick his spots. He's nearly looping it into the grass.
So a lot of drivers, I think, starting to push hard at the latter stages of this race, and it is causing mistakes. Adam Holston still trying to open this door to get in front of John Ullman. You can see that he might just be a sliver faster, but cannot find the door.
Just can't get his way around. He's faster in some areas, most areas in fact, but he's not been able to get alongside to be able to fully take advantage. They've lost 4 seconds off the leader the past 3 laps.
So there, another great time through that penultimate corner for the 34, and continued lockups for the 8. That's going to let Christian Barnes come through. Meanwhile, Ullman spins it.
Into the wall goes the 34. And there goes all those spots. Holston also lost the spot to Barnes, so Barnes does get the 2-for-1 special.
Remember earlier when I think it was actually these 3 that were fighting, and Christian Barnes had a spin, and we had said he had the possibility of getting up 2 positions there, up into 7th. Well, he's done it even more now. He's up into 6th even after that.
Yeah, but Holston has the speed to get right back to him, though. So now is Holston going to be able to get around the 27 again? Although his car wants to step out, lap traffic in front.
I think Holston is pushing a little hard. It's Brandon Willard in the Reese's machine. They're going to have to get by. But I think Holston, just the moment he tries to push a little bit harder than the consistent fast laps that he's been running, we see him catch a moment. Car will go sideways. He gets loose, and that's where he loses a lot of that time that he's been gaining other places. So I think if he would just run those consistent laps that he's been running, he might be able to find a way around. But if he continues to push at critical moments, just like that, he's going to go wide and lose even more time.
Yeah, now down to the final 5 laps, by the way. We're under 5 laps to go in this one. Still getting all finished up here. Andrew Allen, early in this race, he was the wrong way around on the racetrack. How about this to end off the run? 2nd place. He's gaining in the last moments here. He was absolutely destroyed at one point.
Yeah, really impressive to see him. He took the fast repair eventually to get that car fully fixed and back to its original condition. But we saw him earlier on, once he got to this 2nd spot, he was within about 3 seconds of Rafferty. Then that gap gained to almost 8 seconds. He has brought it back down now by almost 3.5 seconds from that, 4.7 back. So Andrew Allen running a good bit faster than Rafferty right now, and I'm going to attribute some of that to Rafferty running it easy here, making sure that he gets it to the end, because he is a good bit out front.
Just trying to finish strong. 4.5 seconds nearly is now the gap, by the way. So he is going into overdraft mode to be able to try and get something done here. Bobby Rafferty, he just has to survive for 4 more laps up front, though. 4 seconds still to cushion.
Working through lap traffic, and again, we've said it once, we'll probably say it again a lot here in the last 4 laps, but what a race he has had. And you mentioned it, Justin, been so close at getting the win in quite a few races in the opening of this season. It looks like tonight might finally be his night that he's able to cross that checkered first.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Oh, that was a bit of trouble with traffic. Joshua Thornton saying sorry on the radio with that close call. That cost him some time.
Yeah, you saw Thornton there just trying to run his own race. A little bit aggressive there, got into the leader of Rafferty. Luckily, Rafferty was able to have that car planted. Lost a little bit of time to Andrew Allen, but not too much, just about half a second.
Oh, a little bit of a send now for Allen as he tries to thread through traffic. Gets himself around Reggie Kime, who is now 2 laps down outside the top 10. Allen can see the race leader with less than 3 laps to go. If this race was longer, we might have had something interesting. We still might have something interesting, actually, if Bobby Rafferty makes a mistake.
Yeah, Rafferty would have to make a mistake, which that's saying a lot because it's something he hasn't done all night long. And you see Andrew Allen just consistently faster right now, but again, I think that's partly Rafferty keeping it easy on these last few laps, making sure he gets that thing all the way to the end. Andrew Allen pushing for all he's got right now, making sure that he doesn't make a huge mistake, but he doesn't have too much to lose. And if he spun right now, he'd probably only lose 1 position.
Yes, indeed. Still looks to finish out this race very strong. 8 cars to the lead lap, by the way. That's how quickly these leaders have gone around this road course. With how things have closed out, Allen nearly snapped the car. 2 laps to go.
That's him trying to push, trying to get back as close as he can to Rafferty. I think at this moment with 2 to go, he's probably realizing that there's just too much time for him to make up, and I imagine he'll run it probably fairly easy here to the end to make sure that he stays in front of Isaac Wilson and finishes second.
Well done in terms of how this one's closed out. 1-3 for Ancient Gaming will be a good way for that team to close out the day as well. How things look. Lap and a half to go for Bobby Rafferty. Looking to be the 5th different winner in 5 races this season.
5th different winner. So many drivers have come up to the top here in the Mystic Racing League. Bobby Rafferty had been another one of those drivers that has been so close, and I think a win has been looming for him.
Just about close things out very strongly now for Rafferty's capture in the race lead here. Gap went down an air second this lap, but doesn't matter. Still coming up to the white flag this time by Bobby Rafferty. Looking to get the win here in the MRL to finish things out strong here at Austin. He'll take the white flag this time by. Just has to get his way around some more lap traffic. No problems as he comes out of the corner.
Yeah, that's Willard. I think he's about to go his 5th lap down. So you see he's just had real trouble out of that last corner. It's been a place that he has not been well suited for. But Bobby Rafferty, what a race for him. Again, I've said it, this is about a third time, but I mean, I think that's all there is to say. Because again, he's been so consistent so far throughout this season in the opening races of the Mystic Racing League. But tonight here, he has really found his stay at the Circuit of the Americas. Last time through the S's, now through the new kickback section, on to turn number 10.
Allen still trying to push hard. It's still 4 seconds back. He'll run out of time in this one. But Rafferty just has to make his way through a few more corners to finish out strong.
Couple more in the back section. Again, just running those clean, consistent laps. The thing that he has been doing all night long, Justin. It's the thing that's put him up front.
Coming out of the final corners. The time changer, 2:25. We'll see the 5th different winner of 2025. Checker flag is out. Bobby Rafferty puts on a clinic and dominates in Austin. Bobby Rafferty picks up the win by 4.5 seconds here, Scott.
Wow. So impressive. And again, that consistency all night long put him there. And Justin, you said it. He's been so close so many times before. Tonight, he gets it done. Andrew Allen comes home second. Again, what a night for him. Saw him, huge incident in the first stage and able to recover so well. Isaac Wilson, Evan Janik, and Andrew Schob, your top 5.
Andrew Schob looking to finish things out in his race. The margin's much bigger in this stage compared to the other two, with it being a longer distance. 50 seconds, about between first and fifth here, 54 in fact. 8 drivers finish out this race on the lead lap. Holston does hold on to 6th. Christian Barnes got within a second on the final lap.
Well, saw Holston and Barnes battling earlier for that spot. Holston just could not find a way around him. Continued to push and make those mistakes. Eventually, while we were watching the battle near the front, he was able to find that way around. John Ullman, another great night. Saw in the first stage, ran outside of the top 15, pitted for 2 tires, and he stayed in the top 10 ever since.
Let's take a break. When we come back, post-race results and interviews. You're watching coverage of the Mystic Racing League from the Circuit of the Americas.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to post-race coverage here on Ballin TV for the Mystic Racing League, here from COTA. Let's take a look at your unofficial race results, where 24 drivers enter the registry for tonight. 8 finished on the lead lap. Bobby Rafferty led 49 laps to come away with the victory here tonight over Andrew Allen. The gap of margin, 4.5 seconds. Isaac Wilson finished in the top 3. We'll speak with those drivers in just a moment. Evan Janik and Andrew Shope the top 5, with Holston, Barnes, Ullman the top 8. Joshua Thornton finished off in 9th, and Alex Pollock in 10th.
Richie Kime finishes in 11th, 2 laps down. Jared Cope-Snyder in 12th. Brandon Willard, Joshua Gillen, 14th and 14th. 15th and 16th was the 07 of Anthony Trippi and the 70 of Stephen McComas. Colin Bollinger, Robert McKay, 17th and 18th. And rounding out your top 20 in this race, the 21 of Isaac Brock and the 23 of Rayshon Wingfield.
Then it's David Moyer who finishes 21st. Caleb Hunt finished 22nd. Then Cohen Hawes finished off as a DNF in 23rd. A DNS for Joey Beam, who rounds out the entries here tonight from iRacing's virtual circuit of the Americas. Top 3 now standing on by. Your race winner tonight was Bobby Rafferty, who dominated this race tonight. He now joins the broadcast booth. Bobby, dominating run, but you finally got yourself in victory lane. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling great. I mean, you guys may have I watched last week's broadcast, and you guys lit a little bit of a fire under my rear end, saying, he just doesn't quite have the pace. So my question to you guys now is, do I have the pace? Do I have your attention?
Well, you definitely do here tonight. How would you say about the preparation to make sure you had the pace tonight?
It's road course racing. You've been around me for a long time. You see me a lot on the dirt, but I feel very confident on the road courses. We were able to, this is a very unique layout, so everybody was learning on the fly, and that's usually where I excel. So it was cool to take the broom out and sweep the weekend between Xfinity, and then have the complete sweep tonight between pole, fastest lap, both stage wins, and the overall win. This will definitely help us in the points.
Absolutely. Now it's going to be interesting where we go next. It's going to be short track racing, believe, next on the schedule. Your thoughts on the next stop on the calendar?
Yeah. Cue up the "I am in danger" meme, and that's going to be for everybody. It's it's Martinsville. So much is out of your control. The thing that I got to focus on for Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup is, put down a halfway decent qualifying lap, hopefully get towards the front and try to somewhat control my own destiny.
Anyone who want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I got to thank Mystic Racing League for putting on, the races, you guys for broadcasting, my team, Ancient World Gaming, all of our partners, Next Level Racing, Sordog, Simrap Market, Ryko Performance, Glitch Energy, a Bruzy Racewear, my Pokey NASCAR team, FGR Excel. Huge shout out to Ryan and Seth on their runs this past week at Atlanta. Those guys did absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't be prouder of them. And actually, one other shout out I want to give that's not a partner of mine, but to a fellow competitor. Big shout out to Janik tonight. He came in tonight not feeling the greatest. He's hurting. He was at work all day and messed up his back and could barely press the brake pedal. So for him to have the type of run he had tonight, being injured, kudos to him, man. He's I think we may need to coin him the Iron Man of this series, because this track, you're on the brakes pretty hard, and for him to run, like I said, run as well as he did tonight and last and make it to the finish, damn good job to him.
My goodness, when it comes to that storyline, absolutely. Congratulations on the race win tonight for yourself.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, have a good weekend.
That's Bobby Rafferty coming away with a race win here tonight. Andrew Allen came away in second spot. He's with Scott.
Andrew Allen, I mean, what a night that you had, up and down, back to up and down. You had a great qualifying run, started in the fourth spot. We're running very well through the S's and the new kink, but right as you got into turn number 12, you go around, then big contact with Alex Pollock. Talk to me about working your way back up through the field.
Honestly, it was just all about patience, just trying to avoid the cars that I knew were going to spin in front of me, watching out for rejoins and all that. And then from there, it was just making passes. I knew I was a lot faster than most of those guys. Especially, I mean, I've been spending every day this week practicing running officials, NISs, just trying to get as many laps. I think I ran like 400 laps this week total, just trying to get down to where I felt comfortable enough to make the passes that I needed to make.
We definitely showed in terms of your lap time, using those stages to your advantage to fix some of that damage and continue to stay out of calamity and gain some of those spots back. We saw eventually near midway through the last stage, you were able to get up into second, and you were about 8 seconds back from Rafferty. You closed it down to about 4 seconds. Talk to me about those last 10 or so laps. What were you trying to do to catch up to Rafferty? Did you think you had a chance? If so, what was going on in your head?
I mean, the last 10 to 15 laps at least, I was saving fuel. I knew it was going to be close. I actually ran out as I crossed the line. I knew it was just going to have enough. And once I saw that I had enough, I started pushing it, and that's when I was able to get from 8 seconds back to at least 4 seconds. And I just didn't have enough in me to get those last 4 seconds.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you saw an excellent charge. We saw a great night out of you. Probably the best driver to have a recovery. It would have been Colin Bollinger, but he had a spin early on when he was hunting him down and exited out of the race. So you're probably our hard charger of the night, and an excellent job from you, Andrew Allen. Also going to be a great points day for you. Before we let you go from Ballin TV, who would you like to thank?
My wife, mainly, because she puts up with my shit every week. And just my teammates for believing in me, keep rooting me on.
Well, we appreciate you talking to us. Congratulations on a great finish.
Appreciate it, guys.
Andrew Allen comes home second in his number 96 machine. Going to be a great points day to him. Isaac Wilson was third, and he is with Justin.
Yes, indeed, and apologies for the language used by Andrew Allen just moments ago here. So, Isaac, first things first, how would you describe... What's up, indeed? How would you describe your race tonight?
Typical road course race for me. I'm not the fastest out there, but I can keep the car on track. Made some mistakes in that last stage. It might have cost me a second place, maybe even a win on cold tires, but I was able to rebound to P3. So, I mean, they would stay out of the mayhem caused by some of the guys that just, I don't know if they just don't get the concept of breaking into turn one and causing mayhem or what, but it's going to be like that at Martinsville. It's going to be a long race next week. Hopefully, these guys use this week to get a head on their shoulders and figure out how to race properly so we're not under cautions for 200 or 250 laps.
Yeah, I was about to say when it comes to the road course side, too, you had some moments where you looked like you're looking great, and then you had some of the course cut penalties. How was it trying to manage the track limits?
That one course cut penalty, I still don't agree I had to serve it because I lost time to Bobby, but I mean, I don't think it really cost me in the end. It was just frustrating at that point. I think I was looking at my stream, just missed my braking zone going in that second to last turn. By the time I realized it, like, well, I got to overshoot it or else I'm going straight to the wall. So it was a simple mistake made. And with these cautions and just getting out of the rhythm, I cannot stand cautions on road courses. I like, it's a race and getting a rhythm. When you get the cautions out, you lose your rhythm. You got to get right back into it. So it's just frustrating. But still, overall, a good race. I mean, I think second, fourth in the stages in a P3. So definitely a points night when I needed one.
So you mentioned the struggle you're expecting for the paperclip. What do you think about Martinsville coming up?
So short tracks and road courses are actually my specialty. I tend to do better there than anywhere else. So I'm hoping to qualify well in front of all the mayhem. And I mean, if we can get some good green flag runs, Martinsville can put on some phenomenal racing these next gens with some tire wear. But if we're just pacing all the time, I mean, it's just going to be bumper tag all night long. So hopefully we can get some good green flag runs in next week and have a good race.
Any shout you like to give here tonight?
Yeah, big shout out to Bobby. He helped me out learning this track, teammate and all. We were trying to get a 1-2, but like I said, mistakes cost me. Got a shout out to Ancient World Gaming, bring me on. A good group of guys. I do a lot of endurance racing. Next level of racing, Sword Dog, Glitch Energy, Abuzi, Raceware, and Tango Paints. So also big shout out to Bobby. He's the one who put this paint scheme together. So huge shout out to him.
Congratulations once again on the run here tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Isaac Wilson rounding out the top three. I'd like to thank the entire top three for speaking with us during post-race coverage here on Ballin TV. The next race is going to be an interesting one, Scott. The Paperclip, Martinsville Speedway on March the 7th.
Excited for it. One of my favorite tracks on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. Puts on some excellent racing. And like Isaac said, if we can keep it and get some green flag runs, I think it will put on some great racing for you and I.
Once again, that'll start 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch that here on Ballin TV for the Mystic Racing League. But it's just about time to say goodbye for tonight's coverage overall after a busy night here from Austin. For our producer tonight, DJ Lyon, for my co-announcer in Scott Shive, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League, the Time Changer 225, here from Circuit of the Americas.